Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to episode 14 of Sithlonia, the city bound to Sithalon. It is the year 26. It has just begun. It's a very, very bountiful year as the modernizations of the Sithalon mine have taken place. There's only 50% workload going on in here, and we could even upgrade it with more technical means. But we're still far away from the next big Scythalon tax. Let's see, I always meant to check back on that. So, yeah, just like I thought, the dip is always going to be heavier and heavier as our poor Dondorian friends here are just not receiving, or they're not allowed to keep the precious Scythalon. So while we're talking, the next Entelodon pasture will be done, providing more meat for the city. There is also going to be a brewery soonish finished, as we have now almost the necessary pottery there. So there's big changes up ahead of us in terms of city prosperity, because the brewery will yield stupid amounts of booze. So speaking about stupid amounts of, we need stupid amounts of workers. So this is on auto employ as it should be. The tailor is already manned down as hard as we can. And yeah, should really try to get ourselves some more trees in. It's the vicious cycle of Songs of SYX, constantly on the hunt for trees. I really look forward to the days when we can employ woodcutters in sufficient amount of workers. My speech suddenly left me. You surely understand what I'm trying to say. So we really could use that. But well, one thing at a time. City is slowly growing. Let's do some houses on this side. It's gonna be some wooden ones again, but it's okay. Alright, so the brewery is almost finished. There we go. So we obviously can't employ everybody that we need, but yeah, word goes around town that drinks are being brewed. Yeah. So even without a tavern, this will make people realize that there's liquor, and where there's liquor, there's something to party, and that'll make the city much more attractive as soon as we have produced a couple of bottles. I'm not sure how we can keep this up, how well we can keep this up, but we are going to see. I mean, the Entelodon pasture surely can be tuned down. This will be very interesting as this baby here is cranking out meat primarily, whereas the previous brick situations that we had, or the previous pastures that we had, cranked out leather. So, very curious to see how that'll now play out. So obviously we don't have set up enough houses yet, as these workshops are emanating lots of noise. I'm going to set up another little town square back here behind the stage. There we go. So, let's see. This should be making them already happier. Drink rations, there it is. Everybody grabbing his drink ration is a happier man than before. Alright. Let's see how long that homelessness issue is lasting. But it seems as if we have successfully set up a new how to put it, a new high density area for the city, requiring more and more workers. Jeez, running out of wood. I mean, it ain't no wonder when we're building a lot of houses out of wood, so that definitely takes its toll. I meant to build more buildings in Cephalonia out of stone, but I really do like the rickety and improvised look of the old town of Cephalonia. There will be a new town somewhere around there. That's my plan, at least. That's a very non-fertile area that we can perfectly use for high-density living. And this area here, well, I'll be expanding the workshops and a little bit of the workers area there, as we still have this residential block here. But yeah. So let's crank up the speed once more. With all those extra dudes from the booze, we'll be putting up the city to new heights, sure. But there's one thing that is troubling me a little bit, and that's the fact that we're kind of like running out of money. That's because I think we're not exporting leather anymore as we were before, because I improved the amount of storage that massively, that we're only exporting when we're above a very massive threshold. So we're going to do this now differently and start exporting leather again. This is just important for the city. It's very, very important for the city to keep the leather exports running. I mean, we basically have made an Orok industry out of that. At the end of the day, that's what it is. And it is good at what it is. Alright, it's gonna be no issue whatsoever for us to pick up more and more people now, as we are producing more meat than ever via the Entelodon pasture. It ain't even filled up and it's already cranking out almost 40 meat a day. And yeah, it's getting us somewhere. So, homelessness. The homelessness radar. Ah, that's the nobleman, of course. Ugh. Yeah, it's time to build some chambers for the nobility one day soon, but one day soon. Yes, exactly, one day soon. Alright, so let's see. How does the pottery go? I don't have any pottery storage yet. Yikes. That is absolutely unacceptable. So we're going to store the pottery over here. I think that would be totally decent. Let's store less wood here and store some drink there. And let's hope that the lumber income will be sufficient for the hunger of the city. Alright, looking forward to where we're heading now. Although winter is up ahead of us, and that means the Scythalon overlords are pressing their boot on our neck again. Gotta say, we're giving away so much Scythalon these days now. It's an insane amount. It's truly an insane amount. But with all the water industry that we have set up here, we really got ourselves quite somewhere now. And we get extorted. Sheesh. That's what this brings us. The guild people don't even protect us from these extortionists. That is something that doesn't play well to the satisfaction and the loyalty of the people of Cephalonia. I tells ya, that is definitely not good for the loyalty. So, let's see. Do I have another export depot open for my pottery? Yes, yes I do. Alright, yellow. There are no resources to sell. No shit, Sherlock. Alright, so we're going to be exporting when we have more of that than we can use. as it should be. So right now, I'm really worried about my wood. We do have a nice income, though. I chunked off 20,000 denarii of my debt already in one strike like that. That's decent. And also, we're making the city now subsequently more and more drunk. It's also going to help us a lot. Auto-employ is the weapon of choice here for me currently, as it will crank up the amount of workers as needed, as we can provide, however I want to put it. We are obviously providing a lot of pottery here. That will give us some money at some point. Certainly not going to mutter about that. Alright, all that juicy syphilis. Imagine we could be exporting that. Imagine we could be building temples out of that. Imagine what we could do out of all of these things instead of just gifting it away to greedy people that don't even protect us from our extortionists. I think this is something that will really ring some bells among the revolutionaries in the city. But for today, there is just drunk happiness. Happy drunk noises emerge from the town as the brewery chucks out booze bin after booze bin. It's good days for Sithlonia, not gonna lie. And in the dawn of this new age of drunksomeness, I am employing a couple of extra scientists, as this gives us the opportunity to upgrade a couple of our industries. Now let's see. So, it's almost spring again. And that's 80 pieces of Syphilon. We've paid up our dues the last time, so now we have only to give away 90%, which will be 72 pieces. Only 90%. Ah, well, that's how we bought ourselves into the City Builder franchise. I could imagine that stories like these aren't too unrealistic, though. I mean, that's how sometimes cities have been built and established. So, it's that time of the year again, or is it? Nah, not quite. It's almost. So, that's time. 85 pieces of Syphilon. That is quite a lot. So, I really hope that Jackster the 8th does really appreciate what we're doing here. It hurts. It hurts so much. So, yeah, that would be 75 if I didn't blunder up some numbers. I mean, roughly all of it. So, that's bad enough, isn't it? Alright. There we go. So there is somebody homeless again? Sheesh. So I feel quite amazed about what kind of population density the old town of Sithlonia has developed just by having a brewery. That surely came unforeseen for the people there. So we are going to set up a bench or two. There we go. Benches also for the narrow alleyways. Why not? And a bench right next to the stocks and the execution place, so the elderly can watch firsthand and can rest their backs. Nobody shall say that I'm not a person that is taking care of the needs of my subjects. Right on. So we got plenty of extra workers, and it is of course time to crank up the Syphilon production once more. So we put up 4 more workers, as I think this is still a good continuous growth of the mines. And let's see how the booze production will go on. I mean, all in all, Sithlonia is now at a point where we can decide for ourselves where we want to expand towards to. I think one good point would be perhaps to hook up my bakeries to coal, but that would also require me to start charcoaling, But on the same side, I would need to start wood cutting. So yeah, there's a couple of industries that we obviously need to get going now as our city keeps growing and the demand of certain materials keeps rising as well. So where where should we be doing that? I think one of the best spots to do wood cutting seems to me this area, as it is close enough to my main city, but at the same time, this is that one forest where I don't see myself doing that much more agriculture. I do think that agriculture will happen up here, so the big fields are done for now, and I'd say we're going to delete pretty much that area here still for the sake of more pastures. So let's do a big fat woodcutter, so we finally get a little bit more freedom in this regard. So that's 17 workers, ain't much, but it's a start. Alright, the auxiliaries cost aren't much furniture. That's what sucks about these. But it is a necessary evil. There we go. 84 pieces of furniture, 17 workers, but we'll finally be starting to be free of that burden. Starting to be. There's going to be a lot of need there. So, the Medeans. No, we're not allowed to trade. Besides that, I don't like to trade with people that eat my people. It's nothing personal. I just gotta say that's not the best source of sympathy. Those tilapi, they always creep me out. Okay. So one flank here, how much sweet water excess is that? All the sweet water excess this thing might need. So that means one day we can easily just copy pasta this monster, set the gate over to a more pleasant spot, or well, actually, it doesn't matter, and we got ourselves another heavy income source of meat. That's neat. Alright, so I really gotta do this now, as I really feel if we want to start charcoaling, I really need a permanent income source of wood, as it will become really more and more bothersome to do it without. I mean, the big trick here is that the wood, it's not going to make anybody happy. It's just the bare necessity, and we will need to pick up the needs of the people once more. Speaking about which, I just realized that we can get started with that right away with some very, very easy points. I feel like the woodcutters totally deserve a big old hearth so they can warm up. And of course, we're going to make a well happen there too, so they can chill out if necessary in the hot summer days. These little things, they mean so much for the well-being of the city, and it also helps you to keep a balanced footprint of services. Alright. Let's start setting up some first stone buildings here. I know that the bakery must make a lot of noise, but it's just at the corner of the noise border. That's just the tolerable, the tolerable distance. Alright. This will make the city subsequently happier, though. We do win a lot out of that. And also we're able to sell off most of the pottery. That is going to be a pretty decent trade for us as well, as we have pottery available for the city without having to pay too much for it. So, we're going to be upgrading our food stalls and markets now. Just realized that I lack the technology to do this. So fancy market, there we go. Then we also should unlock fancy hearths. Alright, so this will make the city go a lot happier. Let's see, for the hearth, we also have the necessary materials. That's just the kind of thing. We can also upgrade the wells. Perfect. That does make the people so much happier. This should help us also in cranking up the service footprint of the city a tad bit. There we go. You can also see here on the side here where you can upgrade them or not. So we got enough clay for these suckers. Yeah, well, I don't want to invest mechanics right now. Mechanisms. I keep calling them mechanics, I don't know why. Of course, we're not putting living mechanics in there. Don't you worry. Please don't get any false impressions of my gameplays. Jokes aside, we're going to upgrade the service situation here. All of the food stalls will be upgraded, as all of the markets will be as well. And that makes a lot of difference. I mean, we probably should be upgrading the terrain here as well. So let's do this. Let's pick up some stone road. And pave that old plaza. That's, to me personally, always the point where a city becomes a city, when it starts to make its roads turn to stone. So we're going to start putting this also down the main road. Of course, the temple plaza does receive also its stone. There we go. Can I do this like that? Yep. So, there we go. So, yeah, oh, that was more than I wanted to. Okay. So, let's see how it looks. That one. That one is important. Let's see how it looks once it's done. It'll sure as hell drain all of my stone out of my pocket. But, worst case scenario, we finally know something with all the denarii that we are going to earn one day. We're going to know what we're going to spend them on, I mean. Alright. Picking up more and more people. No biggie. But we gotta be wary of our footprint here, nevertheless. But I felt like we got so many jobs now on the plate. Oh, yeah. Look at those Dondorians going nuts. They do like the upgrade of the mountain city, as I see. Wonderful. I mean, it's the least I can do if they are that much bothered by the current situation. Hell yeah, we got a heavy backlog of people there. Yeah, just like I thought. The upgrade of the services did a massive improvement for the city's well-being. And our plaza is finally paved. I I think it should be cut stone eventually to fit into the food stall and market optic. But, well, it's a start. Let's not talk too bad about it. But the food situation, yeah. Our storages are really low. And I think we do need to increase on that end quite soonish as well. But one thing at a time. So, for starters, let's see. This place does produce 170 per season, so I would estimate it produces something like between 600 and 800 per year. Alright. I really got no clue how hungry the city is in terms of wood, but we'll see about that. There we go. Feels good to finally have woodcutters running. Tell you what, we're probably wanting to go for right the next one of these. You know, I want to get the timber income under control for good before we set up a charcoaling industry, as we now have more than enough workers to boot up anything. And charcoaling does make us autonomous insofar as we can easily just ignore any coal imports because we're just going to make that stuff by ourselves. I personally see that as a pretty good thing to go for. So that'll be only 11 workers, but whatever, I really don't mind. As long as it cranks out timber, it's fine. I mean, I think it also plays a big role what kind of density you got there on the forest. But all in all, I really want that lumber income down to a point where it's just gonna be more than enough for the entirety of the year. And we can't just go for our industries as we please. Crank up the furniture industry as we need and all those things. So, government. There's been criminality. As you see here, criminality can really take a darned hard hit on the mood of people, which is pretty heavy because, you know, we got guard post wise the whole city in our sights, except for this place. So let's see. Obviously, we need to put down a guard post right next there as well. So we got injured people. So luckily our overall situation is that good that we don't need to worry about that too much. So yeah, we have a murdered person in the city. And the murder has happened back there in that corner. So yeah, definitely tells us that we're better off doing something against that. So let's put up the letter tailors one more time and get that thing going. Alright, my friends, that is though the time for me to say goodbye for today. So a new district is rising back here. You see, we're obviously building the woodcutters area, but the new area of Sithlonia will be now stone. So we're going to set up the woodcutters people like there. And that means we're also going to need a new market and all those things. Services will be in need, but that will be done in the next episode. I'll be just playing now forward until we got the next tribute payment down. And then I'm going to outro for today. So my good friends of the Songs of SYX, I really appreciate you hanging out here. Had a good time. I certainly did. And feel free to drop me a comment. This always is helpful. And if you want to help out, just drop a thumbs up on that video, as well as the algorithm loves that kind of things and starts recommending these videos to other people just because of that. So we'll also have a plenty of cool things down there in the description box. Feel free to check it out. There's a playlist link there. There's my Discord if you want to check out the other SYX addicts that we have there. It's a pretty cool gaming chat that we got running there. And of course, there's also a Twitch channel where I stream each Sunday and each Friday. And of course, check out Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee. I'd be really delighted if you'd give them a go. And as usual, I want to say thanks to everybody supporting the channel. I deeply, deeply appreciate. And I hope you had a good time. And thanks for the watching of this video. I'm really happy you're around. Let's watch my wallet. Let's keep my wallet bleeding and see you all on the next episode. Bye bye.